My friend Adi said this whole slight tilted thing is a little bit annoying, so here, let me fix it. There we go. Now it's not slight. Anywho, today we're turning this into this.
How's it going, fellow photophiles? My name is Ilya and welcome to the weekly Wednesday vlog. Following up the only successful video on my channel, I decided to take you guys with me on a random Instagram photo shoot with my Lensball so you can see the whole process of setting up the photo, taking the actual picture, and editing it later on. But now I realized I kind of messed up. I thought the sun's gonna be setting right there behind me where the train track goes. But actually the sun is setting over here behind this hill, so I'm left with nothing.
The thing is though, unless you're like a naturalist and don't like editing your photos too much, it doesn't really make a difference because we're gonna be replacing the sky anyway.
Now I do have several lenses and I have ND filters and stuff like that to make your photos more beautiful, but since we're doing this whole budget thing and I'm not sure all of you guys have that, I'm just gonna use my camera, 18mm lens, and Lensball. That's it. I actually can't find a composition that I like so much because when you're taking a picture of the Lensball on the train track, you pretty much don't see anything because the whole horizon is flat. So what I'm gonna do is make the illusion of the Lensball flying in the air. Okay, so let's say the earth and the sky have become pretty even. What I'm gonna do is hold up the Lensball right up here in front, moving my fingers out of the way so that there's as little of them as possible at the front of the Lensball. Now I'm gonna move my hand. I put my lens on manual focus so I can literally move my hand to the position where it's focused. It's currently focused at its closest position, and take a picture. And then move the Lensball out of the way and take another picture. Now let's go home and edit.
Okay, let's throw these into Lightroom and start editing. I always shoot raw and in manual, so this picture looks pretty flat. First thing I'm gonna do is bump up the contrast all the way up because that's how I like it. Bump up the shadows, take down the highlights all the way. I'm gonna crush the blacks a little bit more than usual because I'm gonna compensate for that in my tone curve by bringing up the shadows so that I can color them later. So they're not completely black, which is a good trick for making your pictures more colorful. Here I'm gonna color the shadows into a nice coldish blue, which will complement the yellowish sunset, which we will add later. So saturation till about here, and we've got those nice blue shadows. Now let's try to edit the temperature and give us a nice warm sunsetty feel to everything except the shadows, which we colored blue. I like playing around with vibrance more than saturation because it's not so strong. That's okay. Remember, don't pay attention to the hand. We're gonna remove the hand, so the way it appears right now is not important. We're looking at all the other elements, which is fine. The sky is not important either, so we're pretty much not keeping any of it. What I like here is everything except the grass. The grass is kind of in the yellows, so we're gonna take the grass, make it more yellow, and also slightly desaturate it. I'm not a perfectionist. I like quick edits, so I make sure that it's kind of 80% quality, 20% speed versus say 95% quality and 5% speed, as a lot of people like being perfectionist. I just like something quick and beautiful. Let's sharpen this to make sure the Lensball is nice and crispy in the final thingy-mingy. Of course, we have to crop it for an Instagram layout, so we're gonna do 4x5. I don't know if I want to center it. The sky is going to be important, but so are the train tracks. So let me put the Lensball right in the center of the picture, about here. Okay, now we sync it with the other one, including crop, synchronize, and now the background is just as good as this one. We're good to go. Now let's edit these in Photoshop. Okay, so we're gonna copy the entire content of this layer, post it on top of our background, and then select both of the layers and go edit auto align layers. Auto. Photoshop should be pretty smart to figure out on its own what it's supposed to be doing here. Now they look pretty well aligned. Good job, Photoshop. Removing the Lensball is extremely easy. Let's just take the elliptical tool for starters, hold shift to maintain a perfect circle, because this sphere, I'm not sure the sphere is that perfect circle actually. It might be a little bit distorted because this isn't the original Lensball even, it's some Chinese ripoff. But we can fix all those details later. And we just click the masking tool and we masked everything except the Lensball. We'll remove this finger, remove other things I don't like or need in the picture. And actually, there's not much left to edit. Now I have this plugin called Pexels. It's really useful because it's got all these kind of free resources you can use in your photos. So we can literally just search sunset in here, and we got a bunch of different variants of what we could use. Now you want to find one with like a lot of available sky and not much of this foreground things, because we don't want foreground things. I like the sky. I've used it in quite a bit of my photos. It's a pretty subtle sky, at the same time beautiful, so you're not overdoing with it. And the resolution doesn't matter so much because the background will be pretty blurred. So the resolution doesn't really matter after we apply the blur to it. Select the top part of it because we don't need these black silhouettes. And we'll mask this again. And now the first step to blending the sky is really easy. You just go blending options, and if the underlying layer is light, so we take away all the dark stuff that we don't want to be blending in. Holding Alt or Command on Mac, you split these checkpoints, which allows for a smoother transition. This is just the original step, so we're obviously not done. This makes life easier, and then you can go with a brush and edit the mask for more precise edges. Like, we don't want any of this, we don't want any of this. But actually, this did a pretty good job. Now, I actually like how this is creating this kind of glow around the ball. And remember that you're probably gonna want to multiply this and put it down in the Lensball as well, so that it looks realistic, because obviously this part of the Lensball would be reflecting the upper part of the sky. Okay. It looks decent. I actually forgot to do this several times while putting in a new sky, but what you want to do is Gaussian blur it so that it fits in with the blur of the rest. You pretty much have to have the same level of blur as it has on the bushes and those houses in the back, so it's quite blurry. And also you can see the noise in the grass but not the noise in the sky, so we will additionally go and add noise. Uniform amount, not too much, but just enough so it matches with the grass. Let's do a 7. Yeah, 7's fine. Okay, so you see now we got matching noise in the sun as we have in the grass. I want to add some sun into this. So let's take a nice sun. I really like the sun from this sunset, and it's quite easy to edit into any photo, so I use it a lot. For adding sun or any kind of light element, you don't want the blending mode to be normal, you want the blending mode to be something like screen. Screen, and let's say the sun is setting over here, or over here. Which side is that? Okay, let's say this side. Okay. Now, obviously you don't want the entire sunset, so we're gonna take a levels, and edit out the sky to get darker and darker, so you just have the sun left. And that little spill of light going over the Lensball is pretty nice. And then we're gonna mask it, take a brush, make sure it's soft, and erase all this unnecessary light leak. Ooh, we got all this sea over here, which we definitely don't need. And the color of the sun isn't really fitting our picture, so we're gonna adjust the hues to give a more orangey reddish feel to this. Not that saturated. Okay, that's too pink. Red. There we go. Okay, I gotta say, this fits in okay. And of course, don't forget that the reflection of the Lensball needs to reflect reality. So what we're missing here is the sunshine inside the Lensball. Make it a whole bunch smaller. There we go. So this picture is done. I'm gonna save it at maximum resolution for my archive, and then I'm gonna take it and make it smaller. I'm gonna make it 1080 pixels on the long side for Instagram, because that's the maximum resolution it currently keeps, and upload it to an app that's called Later. And Later has 30 free monthly Instagram posts, which automatically post to Instagram or send you a notification so you don't forget, and it helps you keep track of your Instagram posts. So I just drag the photo in here, it uploads pretty quickly, and then I drag it out onto the timeline at the time I want to post, and it asks me If I want to auto post it or just send myself a notification, I got saved captions like mountains. That's okay, Lensball sounds good. I can just change the description and then save it, and it's gonna notify me at 3 o'clock that I need to post my photo. Probably by the time you're watching it, it's already posted, so go check it out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and even learned something new. Wait, where's my phone?
Thanks so much for watching, guys. You know what to do.